Good morning. Hey, instead of good morning, good New Year's to y'all. Happy New Year. Welcome to the year 2024. We are officially in the future, folks. Look, I know people are scared and stuff like that, but listen, I'm going to say this up front and all up front to you always. How y'all doing today? We are in the future, folks. We are no longer in the past. We are no longer in the year 2023. We are heading to the future, and I know everybody's scared. And all that stuff. How you all doing? I hope you all had a good New Year's Eve. My New Year's Eve was plans were kind of skewed. I was hoping to stay up early enough to see the sunrise, but then again, nope, you can't do that. But then again, I got up a pretty early time, watched the Batman. Yeah, I don't like it. Not to say I don't think it's bad. I just think it's good, except for the propaganda, the wokeism that's secretly in there, and I'm kind of tired of wokeism, so I know. I was avoiding the movie, but honestly, I had to watch it for my friend Glenn, and honestly, I like some of the certain things in it, but it's a little bit too long and a little bit too into its own self. So, actually... So what can I say about this movie? Well, what can I say? What are we going to talk about? Well, I want to talk about things I want to do, and what's lit a spark under my ass, and what do I want to present here? No. We're not watching this. We're not watching that. But I do want to talk about some things that kind of lit a spark under my ass, and that is the independent media stuff, the independent stuff you're going to see online and all this stuff, and things that I kind of like about the internet now, and things I'm kind of like more hoping to see now. I know things are not made for you. I hate that expression because it's honestly been thinking about that. I want to make my own content and stuff, but if you think about it, like, there's a lot of things that were not made for us. Like, there was a lot of things that were not made for a specific group of people followed anyway. Can people understand it? Why do you think My Little Pony became so popular with men? It wasn't because, well, you could say they were attracted to the horse people, but it was due to the writing. It was due to the cleverness of the writing. It was due to the, taking something that was dull and for girls and not really that interesting and making it into something new. And honestly, that's why that weird-ass cartoon existed in the first place. It's the same reason why Tiny Toons exist. It's the same reason Batman still keeps going. It's the same fucking reason that certain things have a different fan base. And yes, things should change. Voice actors will change. Writing styles will change. For better or worse. I'm sorry, but hey, don't worry about it. I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, so I know that feeling well. Trust me. My nephew's understanding that right now with Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and everything else that's been like we live in a deconstructive era of time, and there's really nothing that like intrigues us anymore. And I'm now watching a show in the internet from Glitch Productions, which I hope they do great. I'm honestly thinking about like buying a product of the Digital Circus, and I'm liking this Digital Circus too. I have some theories about what's going on and the bigger picture behind this, and maybe that certain things are not what they seem to be. A lot of people have been giving a lot of theories about this, especially the theorist himself, Matt Pat, which honestly, his theory about this show is absolutely fucking wrong. Like, he has some good ideas about it. Like, don't get me wrong. There's certain theories about this that he has about this. Like, oh, they're in purgatory, that, they're in actual hell. It's basically a lighthearted version of... What's that book? I Must Scream, But I Have No Mouth. And I honestly like the theories and ideas, but I also have a theory about it too, that it may not be as sinister as people are making out to be, and that there might be some kind of reason for them for all being there. And certain, that considers like a lot of the clues that have been circling around the internet as well, like the age of the characters, the reason why the way the world looks, why there's no swearing, why there's no real, consequences when people get hurt. And I'll talk about that in just a moment when it comes to the why they're in this kind of cartoonish world, why, you know, they're there to begin with, and why they all have fucking mental disorders and stuff like that. Mental disorders, but I don't think they're there because of that. I don't think it's a reference to a psychological thing. I think what's going on here is that they, and it's a little hard to explain because I want to get this into a longer format video. I think they're in a Bordeaux. I think they're in the third, or I think it's the second stage or the third stage of the Bordeaux, where they're basically dealing with a test, where they're trying to hold on, they're trying to get back into the real world, they're trying to get back there, but they can't. And I'm gonna let you watch Max Derritt's video about Jacob Slatter, and actually watch Jacob Slatter and then watch Max Derritt's video about that, and then watch Digital Circus, and you maybe know what I'm talking about, because I want to explain it a little better. And I think people are missing the exact point of what's really going on here. Like, granted, on the surface, it's a science fiction existential nightmare, and yada yada yada, existential. I think everything else is done existentialism to a degree. This show's gonna be a little bit more reminiscent of the Harold Ramis and Bill Murray movie Groundhog's Day. This is where I'm kind of getting a vibe for this thing, and honestly, I'm enjoying how popular this blew up real fucking quick. Like, I'm actually kind of happy it is, and also kind of upset with it, especially the content farming and the fandom that just went fucking insane immediately. You know, I'm coming to a conclusion that, you know, no matter how much you try to make the characters less sexualized or try to not make them, you know, any kind of attractive, remove all that, they're going to find ways to make them sexy. Let's be honest. They're going to draw Pompey. You know, with the way Pompey is designed, it's not in the sense that there's nothing attractiveness. She's cute. She's, you know, funny. She's kind of like she's the fun clown. Well, I wouldn't call her a clown because there's a reason why she's the jester. Yes, same category as the fool. Same thing with the clown. Not going to get into it, but honestly, there's something bigger going on there. And I'm going to just say the word spoil. I don't want to spoil anything for you. But that word is very, let's just say, something suspicious about the way he said, oh no, somebody might get spoiled. As in to say, something is out there that may spoil a surprise during this journey, this adventure. Think about that for a second. And I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking there's something bigger going on here than just, say, digital prison or, oh my god, their consciousness got into a machine. I'm thinking something bigger's going on here, and they are... And again, I like but I will talk about more about the positives I like about it, especially reading the synopsis of it, the quick rundown. The Amazing Digital Circus is a psychological, remember that, psychological dark comedy about cute cartoon characters who hate their lives and want to leave. But yet each one of them is held back by their own anxieties and stuff like that, and disorders and their own personal demons. And I think a lot of people are looking at this as like a hellscape, because people went right away into the, oh my god, they're in hell. I don't think they're in hell. I don't think they're even in heaven. I think they're in the Buddhist. If you read you watch Max Derritt's video, but I'm going to do a video about this too, and I want to do a constructive video, and this is where I'm going to get what I'm going to talk about later about this. So, I don't think it's I don't think it's giving us all the cards there, and I think something bigger is at stake, and I don't think they're all in hell, and I think certain elements in that show are realizing what's going on here. Because considering they become cartoon characters, and there is this element of, let's just say, a rebirth. I'm not doing it. And again, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys because there is a lot to do with the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And that's another thing too with everybody's theories about this, that they're, oh, well, I like the grounded theories that this is just Pomni, I can't pronounce the name. Pomni's there to get these people out of there. I think she's either a science doctor or she's a doctor, so she could be a psychological doctor, or she could be a doctor in understanding medical, either not medical, but mostly, what's the word, like technology, understanding computers and stuff. And I'm thinking, because I got some theories too, like I don't think Kane is an AI. I know they say, oh, he's an AI. He acts, he's an AI, but I think he's pretending to be an AI. He's got, he's pulling the rug over your eyes. He's misdirecting you with certain elements of his like characters and stuff like that. Like the way he's doing the, copyright stuff and the legal terms when he's speaking that really fast talk, or like when his eyes go blue screen and he's doing that. He's bordering on, he's trying to transcend. That's where I'm going to get into this. I'm not going to add any more to this, but I think Kane knows something, and I think Kane is human. I think the moon is more AI than... I think the AI is sentient and is really out of control here. And I think Kane is afraid of the void because he says it in the show. Like, even I don't know what's out there. So wait a minute. You control this world, but yet you don't know if there's something's up here. And something is very up here. Because I don't think this is just hellscape. Because I want to know, because they do hate their lives. And I think the promise is that each one of them doesn't, certain characters are, perceived as evil or being mean-spirited. And some people have theories about certain characters, like Jax, maybe he's not a bad guy. King, maybe, especially little things they're saying, too, so there's probably some kind of, okay, these people are probably, programmers who got stuck in their own game. They were making some kind of full-fledged, experience game world, and something went wrong, or it's something much more bigger. I think it's something much more bigger because the whole game thing is much more of a... I think, again, I don't want to get into spoils, but I don't want to spoil anything, because that's one of the words that keeps coming, that kind of triggers me when I heard Kane talking to Bubble in the restaurant with the NPCs, is the fact that I don't think they're in hell. Again, it's too easy to say, oh, this is just going to be a dark comedy version of I must scream and I have no mouth. I think it's a dark comedy version of Jacob's Ladder. I think that's what's going on. And I think even Jax knows what's going on. So you see Jax, and he's kind of you gotta admit, he's kind of more in the lines of second in command of, because if you think about it, Kane's been here longer. Kane's putting on the idea of oh, I've been here all this time. No, you haven't. Why do you think Kinger is insane? Why do you think he hides? Why do you think he knows so much about the digital world? Something is going on up there. And the fact that... Yeah, I think also the fact that I don't think it's hell, because one, if you've seen the commercial for the plushies for Pomni and Jax, Pomni's, Jax is oh, I'm a different animation style, cool. And then you see Pomni, who's just realizing she's living in the nightmare, and Jax is kind of shaking her out of it, doing his Bugs Bunny routine, and then they go to the courtroom scene in that video, that ad, and he says, she surprised him with that, where were you in the night of Mrs. Kensington's murder? And I'm like, Mrs. Killinger? And she snaps out of it. So I'm thinking Kane is human, and again, I don't want to spoil this, but Kane is human too, and Kane's going into the process of, he's going insane, but he's going insane in the right direction. So I think that's another theory of mine of how to survive this place, is not to go the way of Kafka, the clown, but to go the way of Kinger, Jax and Gangle, and I'm trying to think of it, Kane. Which is odd because there's that CNA logo, which I'm thinking that's why I don't think Kane is AI. I think Kane is real because he's also showing like the hand thing and the weird like manacled episodes and stuff like that. I think he's been in there the longest and he's realizing, oh, something is bigger here. There's a bigger thing. Again, I don't want to spoil it, so I know I shouldn't be talking. I know people have been obsessing about this show since 2 months ago, and I never knew about the show about 2 months. I saw it, and I'm like, what is this digital circus? Like, is this going to be another Rick and Morty? Let's take something cute and cuddly and then make it perverted. It's like, I'm tired of Rick and Morty. I'm tired of this nihilistic bullshit nonsense. I'm kind of hoping for a little entertainment that can be dark. I'm okay with things being dark, dark humor, or, you know, all that stuff. I don't mind that. What I don't mind is that lack of hope. That lack of, oh, nothing's gonna get better again. You know, that's why, you know, when I said, like, I hope this show, like, I'm hoping the show doesn't go to the way of Rick and Morty, and it goes in the way of, you know, Smiling Friends, where it's like, oh, okay, this is very dark and very, you know, sarcastic, but it's not obnoxious and it doesn't overstay its welcome. And I want more. I absolutely want more of this show. It's like watching one of those Oh Yeah cartoons, and none of those cartoons made it. Oh, except for Fairly Odd Parents, which honestly, that's what I kind of like about, you know, the internet. It doesn't play by the rules of these people anymore. And I'm honestly like, I have a theory about this world too and all this stuff. Again, I'm so obsessed with it. I've never been this intrigued by a series. And again, I had to watch it on repeat, and I like some of the jokes in this. These human hash browns creatures. And that's another, I think that's a line, but the way the game, how this is all set up and how the opening starts out, I think there's some bigger play. Something is bigger at play here. I think we're going to go into we're going to go into something more philosophical here than just, oh, we're stuck in AI and that's it. We're trying to find the exit. Because, again, the one thing that's really catching me off guard here is how Kane addresses Pomni's, you know, descent, entry into the void. Which, honestly, if you've ever read a lot of Japanese philosophy books like The Five Rings or a lot of the Shang Tsung, they talk about the void. The void is not the emptiness. The void is emptiness, but it's not the same as loneliness. It's the unconsciousness, basically. Let me put it that way. And I am doing a terrible job because I need visuals and I don't need this bullshit. So that's why, that's why I'm going to transition into what I'm going to be doing for the new year with this channel and the other channels, which I'm not allowed to speak because YouTube doesn't like competition, especially ones that are not totalitarianism and not authoritarianism, blah, 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 blah. Politics, I'm going to be honest with you, politics is starting to like really get on my nerves, and it is the cancer of the soul. Politics, I'm going to say it again, politics is the cancer of the soul. So that's why you go into art, because it doesn't matter if you're right or left, if you're man or female. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. It doesn't matter what opposite you are. We all come together on a collective on something we fucking like. That's the truth of it. I don't want to see myself up there. I want to see the person I want to be up there. I want to see that individual up there. I want to see who that person can be. You know, I don't want to care about the politics of the day. I don't want to care about, because at the end of the day, at the long road at the end of the day, at the end of our lives, nothing matters but what we bond over, who that person is. And I think we've forgotten about that. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. And again, it's the same reason like why I'm thinking the Batman. You know your superhero has become such an egotistical like character when you've written him as just a OP, unfun, you know, everybody else sucks except my guy character. Because Batman, back in the day, what made him likable and what made him, like, why we rooted for him is the fact that he never gave up. The fact that things got to him. The fact that he got injured. The fact that he got beat up. the fact that, and you see this in this movie too, but I'm watching it, and then like a few minutes in, like, you know, I hear Catwoman use the word white privilege males. White male privilege. Shut up! You have no idea what it's like to be a white man. You want to use me as a bad guy? Fine. I'll be your villain. I'll grow my mustache out and be Snidely Whiplash. I will be the guy who ties up the damsel on the train track. If you want me to be your bad guy, fine. I will. I will not apologize for it, because I'm done apologizing for who I am. So mark me for what I am. Okay, I don't care anymore. I'm 35 years old, soon to be turning 36. Yes, we're all getting old. And by the way, for all you Gen Zers who are about to turn 20 and get into your into the 20s, welcome to existentialism. Welcome to the party, pal. Like, get over it, all right? Get over it. It's scary, okay? I understand that. I'm scared. Fuck you. I've been scared since fucking 2001. I've been fucking nihilistic, but I never gave up. Yes, you know, you can give into nihilism and you can give the fuck up and take your life and just... Which, by the way, can we not hide the fact that we have to say unalive or anything like that? I'm gonna say it. Suicide. Okay, you can censor this because I said the S word. Oh my god. Somebody, George, my brother committed fucking suicide. Okay? And this fear the thought of it, like, express it. Like, no, express it. This fact that it's not... We shouldn't glorify mental illness. We should go over a common ground that we're not perfect. Alright? I don't know. This is my New Year's video. I don't know how long I'm going to do this for, but honestly, I can't... I need to make art. I lift, I work, but I want to make videos, and I want to contribute to making art. Even if I'm not good at it, I want to even get the message out. I want to help with the Iron Age. I want to help spread the knowledge of the Iron. I want to spread the, you know, the influence of what the Iron Age really is. It's not an identity. It's not a person. It's not a group. It's not a people. It's an idea. It's an idea of a renaissance of art being created, of, you know, creating new things from the things we loved and old. Not recycling and hashtagging the nostalgia or the member berries, which, by the way, there is a difference between member berries and nostalgia. And moving, and basically a new chapter or a new book or a new part in a new world. Like, in the same world, but a new story. Like, Karate Kid's a great, Cobra Kai is a great example. It's not a continuation of Daniel-san's story. It's not a continuation of the old characters, but where they've been for the last couple of years. It's a continuation of where these characters have been. We basically pick up where they're at. That's not, you know, perfect example, and I think Max Landis said it the best about Star Wars. Star Wars The Force Awakens is member berries. It's remember this, remember that, remember that. And you know what? Star Wars never really left. It was always in our subconscious, but when Disney took it over, it was like, we are revamping it. And we're putting in all the nostalgia stuff in it. You know, remember this, remember that. And Max Landis made a good point. Hey, if you're gonna go redo Star Wars again, don't tread on the same area. Go into a new area to begin with that we haven't seen. You're just burning the same village. You're burning the village down to create something new. Don't burn that village. Leave that village and go to a new village. Go to those new places and take those ideas and concepts with you into the future. It's not about being nostalgic for the past. It's about passing on what we learned from that nostalgia, from those things that we grew up with something new. And people are forgetting that. It's not about the blanket, but what that represented, what the blanket represented, what the idea of the teddy bear represented, what that certain thing from the past represented. You move on. It's like, I no longer need you. I no longer need this kind of comfort. I don't no longer need this to go move forward. So, that's how I feel about it. But, anyway. What do I think about, yeah. So, yeah, I'm making art. I'm trying to, and also that's another thing, too, for this year. I'm done being political. I'm not saying I'm going to be done being political. I'm going to give my 2 cents, but I'm going to give my 2 cents on a biased level on how I feel about this, which side I take. Because, honestly, like, this side mentality thing, it's really kind of destroying us. It really is kind of getting to the point where it's no longer like we are destroying ourselves. Like I never here's the thing, I never was a real big conservative person. Like maybe a Catholic, yes, I was a Catholic. I grew up with Catholic values. I was raised right, working class, blue collar person, a man. I grew up liking the things I liked, and also defending it from people who didn't like it. And I chose to side on that because people, let's be honest, conservatives have kind of lost the grip on what they need to be, on art. They've kind of we'll fight for everything else, but when it comes to the culture, oh, I thought that was Glenn. And when it comes to the culture, when it comes to the world around us, when it comes to art itself, they kind of fall apart. They kind of all right, we gave up. They gave up in the 50s. That's why movies you see nowadays, there's been this kind of weird, transition. Some movies you would get praise, some people what is art, and nobody knows what it is. And I think that's the problem. People put their politics into art way too much, and it destroys the art. It's no longer what you make, it's what you get from that art. And honestly, from what I'm getting, from art in general, it's, I want to make art again. I want to make things that people can connect with. Why I don't care about why I can separate the art from the artist, and why you should make art, because it definitely, and why you should not put your politics, put your agenda, put your message in there, and just tell a story. Use the message as a window dressing. Use them, I don't want to say use the propaganda, because we all use propaganda. Let's be honest about that. But tell a story what you think what the world should be, what your truth is, and people kind of ignore that. Oh, well, there's the facts, And to quote Paul Chanto. I need to look up the name again because I know him. He's a YouTuber. He's an ex-television producer. And hold on, I need to find this real quick. And I think that's the thing with art. Art kind of touches the soul. I mean, as what's his face? Tom Phillips talked about with Joker, art does something more amazing than anything else. It disturbs the calm, and it calms the disturbed. For those who've just lived a shelter, it's the Oppenheimer Barbie thing, if it makes any sense. Or the way I look at it, it's I forget the two artists in general. It's the one guy who made it's the one guy who made that horror comic, and it's I forget the other guy. It's famous artist guy, Ghibli. Now I gotta look this up. Now I've lost my train of thought here. I'm just losing my train of thought all over the map. Alright. Which, by the way, hold on, let me just see something here real quick. Jim Lee. No, it's not Jim Lee, it's James Lee. Okay, James. I'm trying to think of who that character he was talking about. Miyazaki. It's that meme of Miyazaki on one end and the other guy on the other. Miyazaki's this depressed, downer human being who, and now I've lost my train of thought while I'm saying this. Oh, disturbing the calm and calming the disturbed. Unsettling the settled and settling the unsettled. Miyazaki's kind of a depressed person if you've ever seen him in life and all in his interviews and stuff like that. But he makes some of the most beautiful things ever. Holy shit! For a guy who who needs Prozac, he's making things that are making people happy. But he's the most saddest human being in the world. He looks like the most beaten down person in the world, and then you get to the guy who's created a lot of that horror stuff, with the circle and stuff, or this is my hole, that guy. He's the most upbeat person ever, and I think there's a theory about that people who are sad and depressed and see only like darkness in the world make bright and colorful things, because they want to see that. They want to see that. And somebody who is disturbed wants to help people out and be like, hey, life is beautiful, and I hope this makes me me making you happy makes me happy. And then you get to the guy who made those horror comics, because I don't know his name. He's somebody he sees the world, too bright and colorful. We need to be disturbed. We need to be reminded that we need to be appreciated of this, and that all can be taken away. We can live in an existential nightmare, which honestly, existentialism is just kind of overrated. It's like, you get it, we exist, and we could exist in a nightmare scape, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, we get it. We get it. Okay, you read some dark fucking things. You read some nihilistic shit. Get over it. And honestly, yeah, I'm that's why I want to go back into making art again. It's because I want to create things. I want to go and create things again that spark the imagination, that spark my fire underneath my feet, and like why I went to school, like why I went to film school, not just to make movies, not just to make money, but to make art that help people get through life. Like my donation, in a sense, my putting things back, not putting things back, but what's the word I'm looking for? It's not putting things back, but giving something back to the world, like something that gives some kind of hopeful meaning, meaningful thing to somebody. And that's what I'm planning on doing. That's what I want to try to do. Something that, like, and again, I don't think this is going to be a disturbing story, but I think it's going to be more, it's a mindfuckery of a show, I'll tell you that much. Well, I'm talking about, I'm obsessed with Digital Circus, and I think that's how I'm kind of seeing everything right about now. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm being very, again, attention deficit disorder. Excuse me. I will say, I'm losing my train of thought here yet again. I'm 30 minutes into this video, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just want to make art. I don't care about my relevance or anything like that, because relevance is just, God damn it. Yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Don't argue with me, it is. But, I'm gonna go back into making art. I want to make videos. I'm gonna do Let's Play. I'm finishing up the Metal Gear Saga. I'm finishing up my Metal Gear Let's Play soon enough, hopefully. I have just been kind of lazy and just kind of piggish. Been just kind of why should I do this and why should I continue when everything's against me kind of attitude. So I'm just trying to move forward. That's it. I'm just trying to move forward from my own bullshit and try to transcend, because I haven't been, and I've been thinking about this ever since I left college and stuff like that, and why I dropped out, and was the fact that I was just running a rat wheel, just running around in a rat wheel, surrounded by people who didn't have the best intentions for me, in which I might revisit these people and see if they've grown and changed or something like that. So I don't know, but I'm just gonna try to make. Stay tuned. And you know what? I don't think I have anything else to say, but yeah, I'm gonna keep moving forward here. So I hope you see more stuff from me, and I hope you like it. And for those 88 people, who are watching me right now, thank you for subscribing. Maybe some of you are bots and don't really exist. Some of you may be real people and just, all right, I'll click on this guy's channel. I'll give him some support. He's got some talent there, which I'm thankful for, because honestly, I know I'm sounding weird. I'm kind of going off and not making any sense. Well, I had to live in an existential crisis to begin with, and I had to figure out what I had to do next, like, and what I had to let go. So maybe I'm living in my own Bordeaux. So all right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Love you. Bye bye. Pam, Claudia, Lindsay, Seth. If you're watching this, I'm trying to think who else. Graham, Roshak. I can't. Roshak Redemption. Thank you, Roshak Redemption, for following me. And I know back in the day, you know, he made a video of like, how am I going to connect to people? I don't think he remembers me, but honestly, I'm trying not to be a recluse anymore. I'm going to go try to be more outgoing. So, all right. I'm that's all you're gonna get from me. So take care, love you, bye. Remember to stay awesome. So peace be with you, and support independent media, and also get physical copies. Always keep your physical media. Peace be with you.